Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are setting up the game right now. This is going to be a little bit of a map change and a little bit of a matchup change. So this is going to be, I'm actually a little excited for this. We are refed, we are ready, we are going to be starting the game. You'll probably hear the countdown coming up soon. This is going to be the losers round, help me out here, Dan.
Losers round 4.
Losers round 4. We're moving through our lower bracket now on our way up to finish to see who is going to be the grand finalist for this region. And of course the top 2 grand finalist matchup will be qualified to move on to the super awesome, overall whatchamadover. But this is going to be GSL's Atlantis spaceship. This is a map that's really not seeing a whole ton outside of the GSL. I'd love to see it used more. I'd love to see IPL bring it in a lot. I'd love to see MLG. Oh my gosh, did you see the MLG map pick? What they're doing for the Summer Championships?
I have not seen that yet.
Well, we'll get into that in just a moment. This is GSL Atlantis Starship spawning at the very top right position is going to be our purple Zerg. You know him well, Complexity's goswser. No, I got it right that time. Yes! His opponent is going to be something new. Oh my gosh, what is that? That is right, it is a Protoss. They actually exist. They're rumored to have been here and there, even with the elusive Terran, kind of like Sasquatch and Loch Ness of StarCraft right now. As this seems to be Zerg, but today we do have this Protoss coming in. He is Future, our red player, and looks like he's just going to be going for a very standard opening, the FFE. Want to just slip in real quick, talk about this map. Starting at a Zerg space, just looking down, it does have that short style ramp, it does have a nice little natural, and does have the neutral supply depot. Nothing that you wouldn't expect. However, an interesting thing is, where do you go for a third? Well, you can move down to this larger ramp to this third that seems very open. Can be very difficult for the Protoss to defend when he gets around to it. Or you can move up to this 6 mineral patch. It's sort of a more out front aggressive expansion. It does not have a rich Vespane geyser, unlike the Daybreak out, the 4th that they would get there. And a very, very, very interesting thing is looking down towards that 4th base that would be taken. It has 3 Vespane geysers. This is very uncharacteristic, and that 3rd, hidden behind smoke, is a rich Vespane geyser. It's going to make for very interesting play, and it is mirrored. This isn't a middle base that has to be fought over by either player. You see very standard openings coming out of each of them, but dude, seriously, the MLG, oh, and a little bit of a cannon rush coming in here from Future. I do think that cannon will finish up in time. Love to see that probe kind of tickle at those drones, force them to not attack for a bit. But this is going to pull them off the pylon, and now these 4 drones should be able to go. Yes, there's a little bit of a tickle, trying to get a kill here and there, and Future showing off a fair bit of control. I'm not sure how much damage this cannon could do. It looks like it's not going to last long. Oh, and the probe does get taken out. That's going to have to be outright canceled. That's not going to get anything off, especially with the 4 links coming out. Good control by goswser.
Definitely delayed that natural so long, but at the same time he didn't drop his own base. He's going instead for Gateway and then Cannon. So Future's Nexus is going to be delayed by quite a bit as well.
And he is able to wall that off. He could probably drop a pylon in there as well, just getting that Nexus down, and it looks like he's getting ready to do that just in case the Zerglings come in. But no, Future with that preemptive pylon at the 3rd to make sure that he can delay that as well, and then the Zerglings are rallied over, attacking at the front. And yep, pylon placement. Again, he could drop another one right there just in between. He does have that cannon that is about to start pot-shotting that Overlord if he's not careful.
Yeah, a couple of shots went off on that Overlord now, but I guess user does notice it before it's going to die, so good control there.
So MLG did announce the map selection for the Summer Championships. That's the thing that's coming up in Raleigh in mid-late August. And oh my gosh, dude, they have Tal'Darim and Shakuras Plateau and Antigua Shipyard. Wow. I don't know why they still have those maps. Like Tal'Darim especially, people are saying, what in the world are you doing? That map it's not bad, it's just old. It's like everybody vetoes it because it's been here forever, it's been played, it's now known. It's like, why you do this?
We could have a retro map tournament, bring back Steps of War.
Oh
Lost
yeah,
Temple and all those. Yeah,
I think
that could be kind of a fun tournament.
That would be, or that was, I'm sure, very, very interesting and fun. I want to say it was IPO that did that, like an old school map tournament. They brought in full pros to play on these crazy maps. I didn't get to see it, but I'm sure it was sorts of crazy. But yeah, like Tal'Darim is the big question mark. Shakuris is still kind of and Antigua is pretty disliked. I know. I mean, all they do is they force cross spawns, and it does have the rich minerals. I'm not a fan of it at all. I veto Antigua as soon as I can. We do have finally a choice in the two-base play. Of course, Protoss today do two-base, and they say, okay, where do I want to go? Immortal Sentry all in, 7-gate Blink all in, silly DT play. Nope. Double Stargate going down for Future.
This is kind of interesting placement. He's got one Stargate at the back of his base. He's got one Stargate at the front of his base, so his opponent's going to scout it pretty easily. He's going to scout one Stargate, but he's not going to be able to know that there, could be double Void Ray production or double
That's
Phoenix
just
production.
it. And actually, he's not going to get either Stargate scout. The Overlord did die as it was moving in, and a little bit of Zealot harass. Did get a couple of workers killed. Zerglings are going to move across the map, but yeah, that first Void Ray is on the way out. His second Void Ray is being chronoed, but neither one have... No, they are rallied. They're rallied inside towards the Nexus. These Zerglings are probably going to be able to spot it, though. We're going to have to see...
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. There's no Warp Gate research going on right now, so he's fully committing to this.
Now, goswser is up to 60 harvesters, or getting up there. He's really pushing. He's actually going for a Baneling nest. Oh, this is terrible. Oh, it's the last thing you're going to want, especially for Void Rays out on the field. Maybe Hydras, maybe even Roaches to overpower. Baneling nest may just be defensive, but he might also be going for Carpet Bomb drops. We're going to have to see, but man, he's got one queen per base. He does have an Evolution Chamber down. So spores are potential, and he does have a single Zergling sort of up, but no, 3 Void Rays are on their way out. There is a single Phoenix that's sitting back at home. Yeah, you're right, there's not even... He's just not starting Warpgate. Did he miss that? Did he forget it?
I'm not sure. I think he was just trying to save his gas for Void Rays and Phoenix, because they are pretty expensive on gas, but... we'll just see if goswser plays just like Stefano does when he goes up against a double Stargate, and he just runs in with Roaches and kills him.
Well, he is. Both Stargates have been scouted. However, it doesn't matter because now the Void Rays are on the field. What is the potential response going to be? Immediate Queen is picked up. Spore Crawlers are going down, but with 3 Void Rays here, they are going to get focused pretty readily, and 1 Void Ray taking some hull damage, and that is it. Queens are going to get lifted up. Yes, there they go. There are the lifts. 1 queen is taken out. Another Spore Crawler is moving in. A 3rd is being built. But now there's yet another Phoenix. There are 4 Phoenix in here now. There are 2 Spore Crawlers. This is just mayhem all over. 1 Void Ray is trying to get Micro back, and it does get killed. That's a very, very big hit going in. There is another Spore Crawler that's trying to reposition. Ends up dying because of it. 2 more Spore Crawlers are going to get killed before they're able to be made up, and this may just be too much damage coming in. There is a counterattack. Full set of Roaches and Lings. It's getting ready to be postured, but the defense alone is all that's being thought of right now by goswser. All I can think of is just, how do I keep myself alive? Oh, he's morphing a ton of Banelings. He's getting ready to bust the front door, and the 2 Void Rays are going to pull back. Phoenix are going to move around. And now the Stargate has to do what damage it can. Has it been cost effective? 10 workers killed by Future, and now that Banelings are posturing up forward. Does Future see this happening? Gateway, or Warp Gate, has not finished. They march right into the forge, take it straight down. Oh, force fields are too little, too late, as both sentries are then killed behind that. 2 cannons are down, and they're going to do what damage they can, but now the Gateway is going to be busted, so the wall is wide open. Void Rays, meanwhile, are doing what damage they can back in the natural, but the bust is coming in, and it's just too much. There is 1 Void Ray here trying to do any and all damage. Another Void Ray, 2 Void Rays coming out, and immediately some Warp Gates are going down. They're finishing up. Colossus even is on the way. This is a crazy game. Back in the base, the Baneling nest has been destroyed. Drones are being taken out, but in the Protoss base, can he defend against this? That's the big question. He does have a number of pros that were pulled back. The worker count is 58 to 36. The Colossus is getting ready to come out. The Void Rays are still here, but oh, one of them is actually rallied to go all the way across. So now the damage is moving into the 3rd, where the Infestation Pit is coming in. 3 Infestors are about to pop, and pathogen glands has already been researched. The defense finally being settled in for our Protoss player. As the Void Ray, the Colossus, and a couple of Zealots are able to hold it back. Queen is getting picked up and taken out. The Infestation Pit was destroyed, not before those 3 Infestors got out, and some Spore Crawlers moving in to be repositioned. Of course, Spore Crawlers pretty good. Phoenix can't shoot down, and one of the Void Rays has been taken out, so there's only the last one left being microed back, but it is going to get focused, it is going to get destroyed, and that is going to put an end to this. No, one other Void Ray coming in, and it's rallied. Oh no, pull back Void Ray, pull back. Lack of control, the Phoenix are running back, but the Void Ray is going to get focused down, destroyed without killing a single thing, a completely wasted Void Ray.
Yeah, we do see the Colossus transition is a very good way to go after this when you see a lot of roaches, a lot of Zerglings. Just go for that Colossus, get that splash damage. You know, we still don't see any Spire for goswser, who's not going to have any answer for these Colossi when they do start coming out.
The Infestation Pit going down again, of course, pathogen glands. That does not need to be researched. I love the cannon in the back as well, just in case there's any kind of, muta counterplay. But of course, with Phoenix out, that's very, very unlikely. It is just kind of there to play it safe, watch for maybe some Nidus, watch for some burrowed infestors or any such. And the Warp Gate, of course, is finished. How many gateways are down there? 3 in the main. Is there anything else? There's a 4th going down. I think he's going to need a few more than that.
Yeah, he should get ready to drop a couple more. But yeah, he's not making Colossi. Well, he doesn't have the gas for it right now.
Nope,
he's
not yet.
Starting his upgrades. Finally, starting his +1 upgrade.
And he is looking probably to secure that 3rd. Yes, the Nexus is planned to be dropped. And a sneaky base. Oh, wow. The game sense by Future to be able to see down to the bottom right that this secret 4th base would be dropped. He goes in and it'll get canceled right away, I'm sure. Yep, there he goes. That drone is dead. And yes, goswser did pick up Overlord speed. Has he gotten... yeah, he actually got all the upgrades. He hasn't gotten Burrow yet. But we have 12 more Banelings being morphed, and the speed for Overlords has been researched along with the drop ability. Some force fields are going down as the attack marches up here towards the 3rd. Colossus is focused down because the fungal prevents it from retreating. 2 more Colossus though are wrecking some pretty heavy damage. Not so great against the Banelings, but they can't march up this kind of wannabe cliff. They are all taken out, and Future just says, with that, he says GG.
Wow.
I think Future sort of overcommitted a little bit, trying to expand and also attack behind it. I think you should have taken out that 4th, pulled back, and gotten, like a sentry, gotten some just the gateway units, some bulk to the army to protect the 1 Void Ray and the few Colossus that were out.
Yeah, he really only had about a handful of stalkers with that army. So once they went down to the roaches, there was nothing to defend the Colossi. And Colossi on their own are very, very ineffective. They just fall over so fast.
Well, like you said, sort of that Stefano response is just the push of like, you know what? You want to make Stargate, that's fine. I'm just going to produce so freaking much that you have to pull everything back. You have to defend. You're not able to do the damage that you want to. And a whole lot of Spore Crawler control. I mean, I wonder almost how did Zerg defend against Stargate before the Spore Crawlers had like that 19-second burrow time?
Yeah, really the answer was Queens back then. That was...
Yeah.
Queens in good positioning to start with, because, it felt like it took just as long to build them as it was to reposition them, so you had to make sure you had them in the right spot, really, as soon as you saw a Stargate.
Oh,
or
yeah.
a Stargate unit.
Sounds like we are getting invited to the next match. Good news, folks, it's going to be yet another different map. I'm having so much fun with this, getting something different. And of course, PVZ is sort of the specialty for Cartesian and myself. As I play Zerg, he plays Protoss, and we love to butt heads back and forth. Again, good call out for all you who have paid the $5.99 to be able to see the awesome viewing stream. We are going to be giving away that Antec power supply, the awesome high current Pro 750. Unless, I'm able to steal it myself from Cartesian's apartment. If I was anywhere near you, I probably would try.
Oh yes, it's a pretty good power supply. Not gonna lie, I was pretty surprised when I looked it up and Saw those pretty nice specs on it. Big shout out to our sponsors, Kingston HyperX and Antec. Thank you.
Phenomenal to be able for them to be able to fund this, to get this almost, Blizzard talks about these grassroots idea that they want. The idea of the WCS being, we're going to say, we're not going to create a tournament like, okay, I should back up. Riot in League of Legends is known for really sponsoring esports. But they do it in ways of making real big tournaments with real big prize pools. And Blizzard took a different approach and said, what we really want to do? We want to take a step back and take it from give everybody a chance to truly participate. To say any player anywhere, if they're good enough, can qualify. You don't have to be part of a super high pro team. You don't have to be, top-notch, awesome sponsored player level stuff to be in these tournaments. And I feel like Semi-Pro Gaming League goes along that exact same thought process, but it still wouldn't happen if it weren't for the awesome sponsors like Kingston and Antec.
Yeah, definitely. This tournament is really aimed at getting players that aren't so well known, getting them into the spotlight, getting them some exposure, so that teams that are looking to recruit more players can take a look at tournaments like this one and really look at, hey, this guy has a really unique play style. Let's see if we can develop that. Or
we think this guy could really be the next Grubby or something. He has this awesome control. We want to snag him.
Definitely, and a lot of these players are, they're college players, playing on the weekends, playing over the summer, and this is really a great tournament for, you see a lot of names from the CSL in here, and it's just really great to see the exposure that these guys are going to be getting from this. And now here we are starting out. goswser in the bottom left in the purple on Cloud Kingdom. His opponent Future, the red Protoss in the top right, going for another Forge Fast Expand.
Completely standard play, especially in this metagame, and people have actually complained about how stale this metagame kind of feels, because it's such a it's assumed, it's such a known to go back and forth. However, it looks like goswser might break away from it just a little bit. He's going for that earlier expand, trying to slip in, and in fact he's racing to get enough minerals to drop down that hatch before the probe gets there. What a block, getting there just in time. Wow, that was, and he goes for the spawning pool right behind it. Of course, he had that accessibility, but the spawning pool is usually there because the probe is blocking the hatchery already. So to be able to get that drone out there and to say, I might be able to get my natural out that much faster, get my drones going that much sooner, and really push my economic play, and then to have it blocked, it's little frustrations like that that can matter so much in the early game.
Now this is kind of interesting. Instead of a Forge from Future, we see a Gateway.
Yes, and last week I cast the Die Star League tournament here in Edmonton, Alberta, and there was one player who specifically went for Gateway before Forge, and he would go Gateway and then Forge, just back to back, but he always did Gateway first, so he could go for that early Cyber Core, and it was really questioning because you can have something like goswser get his second expansion, his second base at the third, and then get these early lings out like he has, and really, really, really punish this. In fact, a double gateway going down. That's going to, I believe, that's a wall off. What? No, I don't know. You think, is that a wall off between the pylon and the gateway? I don't think that is.
No,
we're
we'll
find out.
No, Zella blocks it right there.
Yes.
See kind of a Manor Gateway trying to block for the natural of goswser here. The Zerg was able to take that out pretty quick. Now still no Cybercore and no Forge, just double Gateway.
Yeah, and this is, like, what is going on? What is Future doing? This is a big shift, and you know what? I love it. I love this different play style, this like, hey, let's mix things up. Let's make things a little different. And of course, the damage, these three Zealots are going to be able to march out here. They're going to go right up. Oh, in fact, they're going to lead let these Zerglings slip in, and the Zerglings are going to get some free kills. I don't know what he's up to. These three Zealots are going to go down and harass. I guess he feels he can defend with probes, which with 4 Zerglings, I can definitely see that. And the probes are pulled. Let's see if there are any probe deaths. This is going to delay mining a little bit. And, oh, good control by Future. His APM spiking up to an easy 250. And there is 1 kill there. one little pop. The Zerglings are weak. We're going to have to see how they do. But the 3 Zealots now are marching down, and a big Zergling answer coming in from goswser. Really not quite sure how to handle this. Let's see if Future can keep that good control up, save another probe. Maybe that one is just so low, and he is going to get popped.
Yeah, meanwhile, the 4 Zealots now at the natural of goswser did a little bit of damage to that hatchery, but the Zerglings are just going to chase them around now.
Oh, in a little hold position, swinging one around, and then the others move around to get a good surround, a good flank as the 5th marches down, that one giving his life for his brethren. Where did those Zerglings go? Did they just get pulled out? Yes, they must have ended up just dying. This is so uncharacteristic, but you know what? This is pretty freaking awesome. The only downside is, behind this, what is Future doing? Like, this is going to get cleaned up, and yeah, it's going to cost a lot of minerals for goswser. Yes. However, Future is ahead in the loss tab, and the Cyber Core is just now going down when the Baneling nest is also going down. goswser says, well, I'm just going to bust your front door running with a bunch of lings and say goodnight.
Yeah, there's really not much that's going to be able to be done against Banelings. I mean, they just clean up Zealots very well. They bust down gateways very well, or even that pylon right there. Just so vulnerable. As long as goswser holds back, waits for the Banelings, and moves out of vision range, and starts morphing. That's exactly what he needs to do.
Yes, and he see that he saw the Forge warping in, but he did not see the Cybernetics Core. But he's not seeing a Cyber Core up front. And in fact, he can't quite see it. However, point is that there aren't going to be any sentries. Yeah, no cancel on that cannon. Probes have to be pulled, and this is going to be so painful. Force field does go down, but it's not going to do really diddly squat. A 3rd gateway goes down, but the Zerglings are in the base. More are going to be on the way, and there's going to be 10 workers killed, 11. Just watch that tab rack on up.
Actually, I do like that force field that Future threw on. I was able to save that cannon until it got up.
Oh, I didn't see that. That's actually, well, there you go. There's a reason these guys are competing, and I'm not. Good probe control, getting the last of those kills, but 13 workers dead at the end of the day, minus maybe the 3 that happened before, probably 10 killed in that initial attack. And we have 39 to 27 workers on either side. Good creep strike coming out from goswser. But yeah, and now Roach Warren follow up. He knows his opponent has only recently gotten, he didn't even see the warp gate researching. He's like, wow, that's late. 3 gateways up front. When they do finish, they'll be able to warp in. Actually, not even beyond that. Not even Overlord, though.
Yeah, Future just now breaking a pretty hard supply block, but we see goswser taking a pretty heavy supply lead now, 63 to 40.
Mm-hmm.
And really, goswser's just free to kind of sit back and drone, because he knows there's absolutely nothing that's going to be coming out of Protoss for the next few minutes.
Oh, a few minutes at least.
Yeah, he's held off the Zealots. You know, all that remains now is just to see what kind of tech path Future decides to go down. Looks like it's going to be the robotics. Which is a good choice. You know, a lot of Zergs nowadays are using Roaches really heavily against Protoss. And the really good counter to that are the Immortals. And Colossi, with proper support, do pretty well too, but definitely those Immortals, they just rip them apart.
Mm-hmm. The Colossus are just great overall DPS because you have that range, you have that splash, does a lot of damage against, you know, clustered units, which the Zerg tends to do. But like you said, the Immortals just 50 damage a shot. Good lord, you know, it's just just rail into these roaches and just do so much damage. However, there's so many Zerglings that are out on the field already. I mean, we have 20 Zerglings on the field along with the 5 Roaches. Roaches with proper Zergling support can be so damaging, and we have Baneling drops coming in again. goswser really wants to do this. He's got, you know, Ventral Sacs, Pneumatized Carapace coming on the way. 4 warp gates do warp in, but ironically, he can't warp outside of the base unless he were to warp from, like, over off the cliff. A little bit of a restricted mobility there.
And we see a Twilight Council. These Roaches just going to have free reign on one of those gateways, but, you know, not going to do some really serious damage. They may pick off that Stalker. I'm just breaking out.
Yeah, they might. Really, he needs to prep for when this gateway goes down to be able to throw out a ton of Zealots and Stalkers. and instead he's just going to gateway behind it. I really don't agree with that, because now they're just going to continue to go for these gateways. He's not realizing that the roaches have this range that just prevent you. Yeah, now he sees it. He just cancels it and says, all right, well then let's just push forward.
Well, look what's coming now.
Yep.
Roaches and serpents are banelings loading up into these overlords.
And they're going to drop all except for these like 3 units, and they're just going to... Oh, he's not even going to go up for the high ground. He's just going to drop right into it. Banelings and roaches both dropping all across the... Nope, not quite all of them dropping. But just a ton of overlords. You don't know what's empty, you don't know what's full, and now the one immortal that out. Yes, it did get 2, 3 kills before it died, but man, it died quick. And in fact, forcing the full-on probes to where they stopped mining, thinking there might be more banelings dropping. goswser pushing in now, and that is just going to be GG.
Alright, goswser taking a very convincing 2-0.
Yep, I liked that Future was going for something a little different. I like that he was saying, okay, well maybe I can try this and throw you off a little bit, or that. I have a feeling that he's, just probably, maybe he's the diamond player. He felt like he might be a little outclassed. But, still some interesting play to say the least.
Well, Future was mentioning that his versus Zerg is his weakest matchup, and having to play your weakest matchup against a player like goswser,
yes,
that has got to be just, morally crushing, really, just to see that matchup coming, and know that, you're not very confident going into it. You're not feeling that you're going to be crushed. You want to give it your best, but at the same time, it's just such an uphill battle emotionally, mentally, and just really in every way.